This dog was minutes away from being put down, but a woman saw his picture and raced to save him. Freshie the pit bull has only minutes to live. The unfortunate canine has wound up in a crowded animal shelter in Brooklyn, New York, and he's set to be put down at 5 p.m. It had once been very different for Freshie. Indeed, before he ended up in the shelter, the pit bull had lived a very happy life. The 2-year-old dog had spent all of his life with a family with 4 children, 2 other dogs, 1 small, 1 big, and a cat, Guarini told us. What's more, Guarini noted that Freshie had the ideal personality for a family dog. The pooch was great with his human brothers and sisters, and he got along with the other animals too. In fact, the dodo described him as gentle and affectionate and playful. But everything changed for Freshie when his owner became pregnant and gave birth to their 5th child. At that point, Freshie's owner decided that he was too much, Guarini said. Even more unfortunately for Freshie, the Brooklyn-based institute in which he had been placed was a high kill shelter, and with the refuge filling up fast, the pit bull found his time quickly running out. By October 11, 2018, the poor pooch's race seemed all but run. Freshie would be put down if he wasn't adopted by 5 p.m. And the photos posted by Carner really spoke to Guarini, a volunteer who fosters animals through the New Jersey organization 11th Hour Rescue. You could see the fear and terror in Freshie's eyes in that picture, and you could see how heartbroken he was, Guarini said. I looked at that face, and it absolutely crushed me, Guarini recalled. Thankfully, though, there was still time for the volunteer to turn her heartache into action. The dedicated animal rescuer hurried across town as quickly as she could, but the minutes were slipping away, and fast. Happily, though, with just seconds to spare, Freshie was given a second shot at his happy ever after. The pit bull was subsequently renamed Stormy and was taken to his rescuer's home in New Jersey. What's more, Guarini's 16-year-old son had tagged along for the journey too, and it quickly became clear just how happy Stormy felt to be back with a loving family. He jumped into my car with no problems, Guarini recalled. My son had gotten into the passenger seat, and Stormy just climbed onto my son's lap. And you could see with every little wiggle and face kiss that Stormy was thanking him because he knew that he was going to live. Yes, during the drive back to New Jersey, Stormy proved to be an instant hit. He wanted to sit on my son's lap the whole time, so my son had to get into the back seat, and he spent an hour and a half riding home on my son's lap, Guarini said. In fact, the only time Stormy moved from his perch was one of the dozen times he wanted to kiss me too, Guarini said. And once the mom and son team got Stormy home, the pit bull's surprisingly big heart continued to impress the animal rescuer. For example, Guarini described how Stormy carefully played with her 16-year-old. Stormy was wrestling with my son, and my son's hand went into the dog's mouth, and the dog left his mouth open and slowly backed his head away so he wouldn't even scratch him, she described. And Stormy really stepped up to the plate when Guarini's son got sick, too. Stormy stayed in the room with him all day and nuzzled up with him. And when my son got up, Stormy was up just following him around, the animal rescuer said. Stormy's glowing personality had clearly warmed Guarini's heart. In fact, she went as far as to say she was madly in love with this dog. He just wants to interact with people and be loved. But having grown so attached to the pit bull, the rescuer's next task was to find the right home for the precious pooch. According to the dodo, Guarini sought a family that would recognize Stormy as a treasure. I do have to say, because he is one of my favorites, that I'm very picky, so I need to find the best home out there. Happily, though, just a few weeks after the rescuer had saved Stormy's life, she reported that the mission had been accomplished. In a Facebook comment, Guarini updated the world on Stormy's status. He was adopted, and his family sends me pictures and videos a lot. He's all smiles all the time, and I couldn't be happier for him," she wrote. And for Guerini to know that Stormy was in a loving home made her role as an animal rescue volunteer and foster mom completely worth it. She wrote, "We all do our best to help these babies."